Well, hello and welcome to 2023 football season. Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. To my right, the head coach of Tiffany University football, Mr. Cris Reisert. Long time no see. How you doing?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Right.
Football is back. Football is back, which is a beautiful thing.
We saw you at Victory Day, and that's always. Let's talk about that first, because that's one of the great events. Not only happens on Tiffany or for the football team, but on Tiffany University campus. Victory Day, if you're not aware, happened just a couple of weeks ago, and Coach, you're more familiar with. I'll let you tell the folks about that.
Yeah, no, Victory Day is it's a wonderful evening. We have families of children with special needs, and they come and spend the evening with us. They get a chance to hang out with different members of our team. They're assigned 3 buddies, and those buddies hang out with them and their family the whole night, and they get a chance to put on the pads and do drills and have obstacle courses, and then kind of the culmination is they get introduced on the PA, and you're the PA now, so we're going to do a tremendous job and introduce them. They come running out through a giant tunnel, and then they get to score a touchdown. So we have 11 guys on each side of the ball, and they're blocking or diving out of the way and trying to tackle them, and they score, and then the band starts playing. Our band's there and does a great job, and so do our cheerleaders, and the whole place erupts. So
that's awesome.
It's really a way, I think, for our players to see the impact they can have on others and the value that service has, and also it's a cool way for us to get involved in the community and just to see the kids and the excitement they have, but also their families getting to see their kids score a touchdown or have an experience that maybe they didn't think they'd have. It's a really special moment.
I don't know who likes it more, the kids, the parents, or your players.
Who you telling?
Everybody's ear smiles, man.
It's one of your favorite nights of the year. It's one of those things that's right and good in the world, and so we're just happy to be a part of it.
Well, the last time we got together and talked actual football on the field was after the Great American Crossroads Bowl. The Dragons went out there and throwing a tough on 28-27. We'll really talk about the game itself. Let's talk about that experience that your kids got to have out there in Hobart, Indiana. I thought it was wonderful from my side of it, but it was a great kind of a leaping forward as you went towards the recruiting period at the end of the season last year.
Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to play another football game, it's a win, right? And you get a chance to go to a pretty cool atmosphere like Hobart, Indiana, and the GMAC did a tremendous job, and so did the GLVC, and putting the event on and treating our kids first class. And so it was cool. It was a good culmination of a solid season, getting a chance to play in a bowl game and first in school history, and so finishing second in the GMAC is not where we want to be, but we're proud of being able to represent the GMAC in that bowl game. And I thought we played well, but not well enough. And so now it's onward to 2023 and moving on, but it was a nice experience.
It's always sad to see the guys go on who you've had here for a few years, guys that you've brought in here from high school kids, and see them go through their collegiate years, but they're done. The new guys got to come in. So the next time we talked after that was your recruiting class.
Yeah.
So brought in a nice big recruiting class I know that you're incredibly excited about. Talk a little bit about that transition those young men have made as you've worked your way into the start of your fall camp.
Yeah, it's a cycle of college football. Guys come and they graduate and they walk across the stage. You hope they do it with a couple rings with their fingers, and our guys are able to do that. And then they move on and they go get big boy jobs, and or they keep playing football, whatever.
Or some of them move in here and start coaching.
Some of them start coaching. Darius Penix is on staff now, and so it is. It's a cycle of college football, and so this is a new year. Not as many familiar faces, especially on defense for us, and which is exciting. I think it's an opportunity for a lot of young guys that we've recruited over the years and developed over the years, and now we don't have those 6-year seniors that we had the last few years, and now it's kind of back to like a regular college football team, where there's not as many 23, 24, 25-year-olds, and honestly, I love it, and it's been a really, really fun group to work with from a recruiting perspective. You sign in February, and then you enjoy your senior season, and then it's like, man, August rolls around really fast, and you're rolling. And so got some really good young freshmen that we really are excited about, and encouraged to see their growth, and excited to watch how their career unfolds.
And it's awesome to have these upperclassmen who have been there, done that, able to help these young guys transition into the college games. It's a whole other world from high school football, but it's great to have these guys who truly are Tiffany University Dragon football players and are ready to accept these new guys coming in.
Yeah, no, I think our culture is really strong right now. I think we have a great group of kids. I think we have a great understanding of what we are and the core values that we adhere to, and the things that we're going to hold accountable as a staff and as a program. Our older kids have bought in. I love our captains. I love our leadership council. I think this is the healthiest I've seen our football program ever, and in the sense of our culture, and so really, really excited about that. I think they've done a tremendous job of welcoming this newest crop of whether it's a high school kid or a transfer,
right,
indoctrinating them into the Tiffin way, in the way that we do things and how we behave. And it's been really cool to see that live and in action.
It's not only on the field, but off the field, in the community. Coach, we're going to talk here in a little bit to Coach Tyler Johns, the offensive coordinator, as well as some other Coach Doug Price, the defense coordinator, as well. But I'll mention it to Tyler, the off-the-field stuff, too. The things that the folks don't see behind the scenes, and then the interactions of your kids in the community. I hear it from community members. I've never heard a negative word from community members since you've been here. So the behind the scenes and then how it translates into the community off the football field is pretty cool to see, too.
No, and I appreciate that, and I'm glad our feedback has been positive, and it's cool when you hear that as a coach. It's like, the wins and losses are important, right? And we're going to continue to strive and to get as many of those as we can, right? But then at the same time, it's cool to be able to make an impact on our guys and watch them continue to develop as people. And we always say to be the best version of yourself, right? Whether it's athletically or academically or socially or as a husband or as a son, right? Do your best, and it's cool to really see that take action with our guys on a daily basis. And I'm lucky to be their coach because they're really, really good dudes.
Well, we mentioned Coach Tyler Johns. Let's talk about the offensive side of the football a little bit. We'll check in with Coach Johns here in just a moment. He'll get some of his feedback, but talk a little bit about the offensive side of the ball. A lot of guys coming back. Some guys, you said, transition into the coaching realm, but you got a lot of experience up front.
We do.
You got some talent at all the other positions. Talk a little bit about the offensive side of the ball, then we'll check in with Coach Johns.
No, I think we're in that stage now where it's an older group. It's been a few years coming where we've been young and have kind of watched that growth happen under our own eyes, and now I think we're going to relish in that a little bit, having some guys that have experience and have played a lot of football. Up front, we've got really 4 guys that have played a lot of football, and that gives us a lot of comfort going into week 1. At the receiver position, same thing. We've got 6-7 guys that are back and that are playing really good football right now, and we're excited for that. Up front, at the running back spot, same thing. And so it's neat, it's not a lot of transfers, and just a lot of homegrown guys.
Makes my life easier too.
Yeah, we're developing guys and coaching them hard, and really excited to see it kind of take shape. I will say this, I think our offensive staff's done a great job in developing those guys and putting together a really good plan. And I'm excited to see the fruits of that labor come to fruition.
Let's go ahead and check in with Coach Tyler Johns, the offensive coordinator for Tiffin University football. Now we're going to be joined by Tiffin University offensive coordinator Tyler Johns. Coach, feels like it's been a while since we've done this. I had a chance to sit down and talk to each other. But let's talk a little bit about this upcoming season. The Dragons getting ready to open up the season at the end of this coming week. And, a lot of work has to be put in to get to this point. Let's talk a little bit about those kids and the work they put in since they got to camp to where they are now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really exciting unit. I think, offensively we've got quite a few older names on that side of the ball, and so a lot of experience. With experience comes high expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so up front, right, you've got 4 guys that are all in their 4th year starting for us, and so we expect big things out of that offensive line unit. Obviously, you've got a quarterback that has played a lot of football and is really kind of the heart and soul of this offense.
How has he transitioned into things here?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I think with Case coming in, getting him here, for spring practice.
That had to help.
Letting him get those 15 under his belt, and then he stayed up here all summer and really got to develop that chemistry with that receiving core, and you've got a receiving core that's very deep. That's going to be headlined by Anthony Lowe, which I think we all know that we can expect big things out of him.
People don't know who he is in our conference; they just haven't been paying attention.
No, without a doubt. But and Anthony's done a great job. He's there's not going to be a guy that's more prepared for Saturday than Anthony, and so it's exciting to see the other guys in that room that they push each other, and that's going to be a really deep unit for us.
Lots of guys' names I said last year, and a lot of them coming back, and some new guys coming in too. So
definitely. So we're excited. Jack Stoltz has had a great camp. Jalen Thomas has had a really, really solid camp. Has playing a lot of different positions at receiver for us, and so he's a guy that we can really move around and do a bunch of different stuff with. And
that speaks volumes to me of his athleticism, his likability, and his brains. If you're able to put him in different positions on the football field and still be happy that he's going to be alert to know what's going on. That's
without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. He's a guy that I think, Kaysen really trusts and, knows that he's going to be in the right spot no matter where he's playing. Right. And so it's good. That gives us a little bit of flexibility from that standpoint. Josh Lewis has done a great job. Hav Wills, Trent Hacker, Will Linkard. I mean, the names kind of go on, and those are guys that I think offensively, we've got to be able to rely on, and they've certainly stepped up to that.
Does it make it tough as a coordinator having all of these athletes trying to figure out ways to get them on the field and use their abilities?
I wouldn't say tough. I'd say fun. It makes it a lot of fun. I agree. I think you're right. It forces you to be creative.
Right.
It forces you to be creative, and
because nobody's ever heard about a wide receiver who said, "I've had enough balls.
I'm good. Right?
I'm good." That's never happened before.
No, without a doubt.
But you also got tight ends and running backs who are also very productive in this offensive system. Not only getting their hands on the ball, but in the running game with the blocking as well.
Definitely. No, the tight end core. You've got a few guys in that room that have played significant amount of snaps for us, and so I've been extremely proud of the way that unit has come along in the pass game. That's been an area where over the years maybe we haven't been the most effective, and so I think those guys kind of saw that and put in the work really in the last year here to make sure that can be a strong point of our game too, and so. I'm excited about that tight end room, especially some young faces that maybe we haven't heard a ton about that are going to play a big role for us.
That position has changed a lot over the last few years. I mean, probably longer than a few years, but you really got to be an athlete to play that position now, don't you?
Yeah, I think this several years back, there was a Jason Witten quote, right? And he said, we got to be able to block like O-linemen and run like receivers, right? And,
True.
That takes a special breed.
It does. It does. Not only athletically, but in your mindset as well.
Definitely. And then the running back room, we're tremendously excited about that room. We graduated the starter from last year, who's now coaching those guys.
That's huge.
And Darius has done a great job, whether it's just his energy. He was a team captain for us for a reason a year ago, right? And so he brings great energy every day and has really mentored those guys. And so you're going to see a lot of different faces at that position as well. Devin will kind of headline it for us, but you're going to see several guys rotating through there because each one of them brings something a little bit unique to the table, but they're all really talented at what they do.
Well, Coach, before we let you get back to your kids, we're going to give you a chance now to talk about the other side of the ball. Coach Price's guys, they put in a lot of work. They have a heck of a lot of talent on that side. Talk a little bit about that work and how that makes your guys better in practice.
Yeah. It's every day's a war. Every day's a war when you go against them. I'll say this, that side of the ball is a little bit younger, but young is fun. They bring a ton of energy and they're ferocious over there. So they, every day's a Super Bowl to them, right?
Awesome.
They get after it, man.
That's great.
They get after it, but no, it's that's going to be a really exciting unit to watch. I think you've got some DBs that have been around the block. You've got a Caleb Street who. Frankly, the expectation is that he can erase somebody from the field. And that's not, I think that's just a testament to the work that Caleb's put in, not...
And the proof he's put on the field.
Yeah, without a doubt, and then at linebacker, you've got several guys that have the experience and, guys that I think bring a little bit of an edge to the defense at that position. And then up front, there's... graduated 6 of them a year ago.
And
so there's going to be a lot of new faces, but they're exciting. They're exciting. You got some new faces to the program that are contributing, some guys who have been here and been a part of it and now are taking on a bigger role and thriving in that.
And then you and Coach Price can kind of lean on each other. You're on the offensive side. Coach, how are you seeing this on the defensive side and probably vice versa?
Yeah, I think that's a product. It's Dave and I are very close. Our families go on vacation together in the summer.
Love it.
So it's, I think that's a testament to, my trust in him that at the end of the day, he wants us to be really good, and I want them to be really good on that side.
Absolutely.
The only way to do it is to make each other work.
Coach, go get us the ball back. Get us the ball back.
Without a doubt.
Well, he's offensive line coach and offensive coordinator Tyler Johns, and we'll catch up with you again throughout the year. Okay, Coach?
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. All right, now let's talk, Coach, about the defensive side of the football. First, thank you, Coach Tyler Johns, for checking in with us. Let's talk about the defensive side of the football. We'll catch in with Coach Price here in just a little bit, but not as much experience up front, but a lot of experience on the back end on your defensive side.
Yeah, no, I think up front, you graduated 6th year defensive lineman. And anytime you go through a bit of a situation like that, it's going to feel fresh and new. And we always look at change as an opportunity. Not man, it's changed. No, it's like, hey, this is a really cool opportunity for us to get some new blood into this thing and some new chances on guys that we've been waiting to see play. So I'm really excited. I think we got a group of hungry kids that want to compete, want to grind, and want to get after it up front. I think Coach Price has done a great job, and our defensive staff's done a great job cultivating a culture that is going to be one of effort and one of toughness and one of running to the football and bringing the right mentality. So we're excited.
I love the cohesiveness you have in your coaching staff, even with the new guys. There's a lot of new faces in this coaching staff, but it seems like everybody just on the same page.
Yeah, no, I've been really fortunate. We've had a lot of turnover as it is, and it's for good reason. We've had some success, and we're proud of that success. And us having really solid coaches here has been a big part of that. And so, as anywhere, when you do that, guys have good opportunities for their families, and we're excited for that change. And the two stalwarts for me and my staff have been Coach Johns and Coach Price. And so in terms of indoctrinating the culture of our staff and of our program, those guys have been as valuable as anybody that's been here, including myself. And so it's neat as we've added in new coaches. We've been able to embrace our pre-existing culture, but also we've got some really cool new ideas and new ways of doing things. And I'm not hey, we do it because we've always done it. It's like, what's the best way to do it? Right. So there are a lot of cool staff meetings and cool ways of kind of renovating the things that we were doing and making them a little bit more new and a little bit more fresh.
Let's go ahead and check in with defense coordinator Dave Price about the Dragon defense. Now we're sitting down with defensive coordinator David Price. Coach Price, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking some time for us as we're previewing the Dragon football season coming up. And you take care of the defensive side of the football, and you lost a lot up front last year. Your defensive line, a lot of kids gone, but you bring in athletes to replace those guys. You know it's got to happen sometime. Talk about the new faces you got on that defensive line.
Really excited about this upcoming year, especially up front. A lot of the guys that we have currently playing for us are guys that have really been patiently waiting their turn. Guys that, during the last season, when they had the opportunity to step up, they stepped up in a big way. You talk about Jesse Cannell in our bowl game at the end of the year, was the MVP of the bowl game.
Defensive player of the game.
Two massive sacks, strip sacks at that.
Yeah.
But then you talk about Rob Holtz, is a story that I love telling, a guy who came in as a walk-on. Has worked his way all the way up to being one of our premier guys up front too.
That's beautiful to see.
Exciting. Really
some names that I've heard. I mean, not like names I haven't said in the past during our broadcast. Just some big name guys have moved on, but luckily the back end of your defense, there's a lot of experience there.
Indeed. That's the one thing. You talked about Coach Rogers, which is our new addition to our staff, coaching the defensive backs, and Coach Copeland as well, coaching our corners. Do a great job. They want all of these guys to really be ambidextrous as far as learning to play different positions. Okay. That's something that, for us, schematically really gives us an advantage on Saturday, is that these guys, they know all the checks, they know all the positions, the techniques, and they really put the time in back there. You talk about Caleb Street, one of the best corners in the country. He's a guy who erases half of the field. So we're really excited to see what this season has in store for him. You talk about Chucky Lewis, a guy who legitimately just gets us all on the same page. Chucky.
He was a ball hawk last year too.
He is. He has a knack for the football, hustles to the football. And if you're going to hustle the football and be around it, 9 times out of 9 you're going to make a play.
Right.
And then you talk about Pat. Pat Tweme is 5th year guy who
feels like 10th year.
And I'll take him for 11, to be honest with you.
I love it.
He is a guy that honestly has been here for longer than I've been here, and he truly brings this defense together. He's a captain, as a guy who again started his career as a walk-on. He's earned every single piece that he has gotten, to be honest with you, and really excited to have this unit back together this year.
When you talk about the moving parts, guys be able to play multiple positions, not only talks about their athleticism, but their football smarts as well. It's nice to have some guys back there that you can not only count on their abilities, but count on their brain too.
Sure. These guys have bought in, and through the years, you've watched them, evolve. Whether it be schematically or just evolve as leaders. That's something that's really exciting to watch these guys as they begin to step foot, towards the real world. So they've done a great job, obviously on the field, but off of it as well.
Watching him go from boys to young men, it's awesome. It's pretty crazy.
It's awesome.
All right, we haven't touched on your linebacking core yet. So your defensive line is going to muddle up the middle. Your secondary is going to take care of everything. Your linebacker is going to fly around and tackle everybody.
Yeah, we got a couple guys back that'll thump you now.
Right.
And my favorite to talk about first is watching Zeke take a step forward. He's been a guy who's played multiple snaps for us in multiple games, but to watch him this year really take a grasp of the defense and get us lined up front, while at the same time, making his fits really easy, is something to really be excited about this upcoming year. And then, a familiar name, obviously, Marshawn Mankins, a guy who was newcomer of the year. Watching him flash around, it's a sight to be seen.
He brings a load that's so much bigger than him.
There's no question.
He's a harder hitting player, pound for pound, is what I've seen at this level in a long time.
I cannot leave out Barry Brown.
Bird, another one too.
You talk about a guy who plays with passion. He will bring that WOOD. That's what we say all day, baby. So he'll bring the Riddells to you.
Wow.
So
that's got to make things easier on your young defensive line, knowing that you got guys behind you that know what they're doing. They're going to be in the right place and are there to help you if you happen to make a mistake. And they'll pick you up and then pick you up and get you ready for the next play.
There's no question. And they keep us motivated too. Those are the guys that, if they feel a dip in the energy, they will bring us right back to even flow where we should be.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, before you get back to your team, I'll say this to Coach Johns as well. You got to work against the players on the other side of the ball to make you better. Talk about the work that his kids put in to make the guys on your side of the ball better football players.
You talk about making us better. We are facing one of the most dynamic offenses in the country every single day, and it's top to bottom. We going into any game plan mode where we're looking and trying to identify guys that we have to stop. When you're thinking about our offense, there's so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many of them. The wide receiver core, I've never seen a group that legitimately has gelled so fast. And I'll be honest, the plays that they make, every single day, they make a SportsCenter top 10 play.
Love it.
And it's just wild to see. Our quarterback, oh my goodness, like Kaysen, the decision making, the leadership, the arm strength, everything. He is everything that you would want in a quarterback.
Awesome.
And then obviously the big boys up front. Those are the guys that I honestly have a soft spot for because again we work with them every single day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, and to watch those guys continuously take a step forward every single year is just a sight to be seen. And obviously credit to Coach Johns and the offensive line, the AKBs. Those guys are road graders and pass protectors, and they're not passive. I'll tell you that. So, they make us better day in and day out, and that's something that, we really get excited for practice because the competition is so high.
Absolutely. Well, one thing I can tell you is that when Coach Johns and Coach Price talked about the opposite side of the ball, both of them smiled big, had a nice big glow on their face. So a lot of excitement from the defensive side about the offensive play for Tiffin and vice versa from the offensive side to the defensive side. Coach Price, thank you so much for your time, but we'll talk to you again real soon. Go get them.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you, Coach Price. Now here back with Coach Reisert. It's the season preview of Tiffin University football. Dragons open it up here, coming up the first Saturday in the month of September. And Coach, when you look at the schedule this year, very interesting that the way that this calendar lays out, 5 Saturdays in September. So to say the first month's pretty important for your kids is pretty much an understatement.
Yeah, I think obviously it's always true, right? But being able to get off to a hot start and get off to a fast start, I think is really important, whether you're Tiffin or you're any other team in the country, right? Football's a game of momentum. It's a game of flow, and I think if you can get the right type of energy and the right flow and the right momentum earlier in your season, the middle part becomes a lot more cohesive, and you're not trying to kind of grasp at straws. So our objective is to start fast, and hopefully by starting fast, it'll create an opportunity for us to finish even faster.
McKendree is the opening game here. It'll be at Frost Cow Stadium. Don't forget, all the games are available on the Great Midwest Digital Network, which is new this year. We're with Huddle TV. So if you had the old Great Midwest app on, like, say, your Fire Stick or Roku or something, go ahead and get rid of that and search out Great Midwest Digital Network. You have all the action right there at your fingertips. Second game, going up to New Hampshire to face St. Anselm. Have you had a chance, just in your personal life, to spend any time in that Northeast?
I have not, but for maybe once or twice, I had a buddy that played center at Boston College, and we went up and saw him, and that's about the extent of it. When I was at Ohio Dominican, we played New Haven, which is up that way, and so it'll be new. It'll be new traveling up there, and they're a good football team and had a good season last year, and so it's a cool opportunity, and it'll be a trip. It'll be a Thursday, Friday deal, and it'll be a pilgrimage for sure. But we're looking forward to the test, and I think having McKendree in week one, a really solid football team from the GLVC, and a good test week one, and then bounce it back and one of the better teams in the NE10. I think it's another great opportunity, and so I'm excited to see where our football team lands after those first 2 weeks.
3 road games in the month of September, Northwood in the middle of it, and then your 2 longest road trips are the St. Anselm game and then Thomas More, the new addition. They were a satellite school, I believe, with the conference, now a full-time member of the conference, down in your area, not that far away from where you grew up. So it's going to be an interesting road trip, and the only night game for the Dragons will be the last weekend in September.
Yeah, no, that'll be interesting, getting to go home, and I've never really played in a college football game, coached or played that close to where I grew up in Cincinnati, and so Thomas More, I think, is 45 minutes or so down the way, and so I'm sure my mom's already planning a bunch of family, and my wife is too, and so I'm sure that'll be fun. I'm not privy to that information, but they'll figure all that stuff out, and hopefully we'll show up and play well.
And there was also a home game with Ashland in the middle of that September run as well. So a very big 5 weeks for Tiffin as they get the season started in the month of September. Coach, you move into October, you have 1 road game and 3 home games. So the heavy portion of the home schedule for your kids will be in October. And that will also include a homecoming game against Kentucky Wesleyan.
Yeah. No, I think anytime you get a chance to play at home is huge. It has to be an advantage. It has to be something that we protect and we value, and I think that comes with being able to elevate the experience there too, and so I am pleading and imploring people to get out there and come see us play.
It's October. What's a better month to go sit through football? And come see us on September 2nd and get a snapshot of the type of brand of football we play. And I think a lot of times, local people don't quite understand the value or the brand of football that it is and how good it is. And so being able to get out and watch our guys play and see how talented they are, I think it's an eye-opener, and I think it's a really, really exciting football team, but also just the vision and level to watch play. It's an absolute eye-opener. When I'm on the sideline before games and I see the size and the just quality of athletes that run around at this level, it blows my mind. Yeah. So it's awesome that these kids come to choose to play their college football in Tiffin, Ohio. I just absolutely love it. And then the November end of the schedule, a couple tough road games to finish off. Your alma mater, Ohio Dominican, and then rivalry weekend to finish off the regular season. But that's the way the schedule plays out. 5 games in September, 3 on the road, 2 home games. October, you can get Dragons 3 out of the 4 Saturdays right here at Frost Cow Stadium. 1 road game will be up at Lake Erie, then the 2 road games in November. It all should lay out to a whole lot of fun, if nothing else, right?
Football's fun. Football is fun. No, and it's awesome. And I've learned more about our schedule sitting here with you than I had.
Well, you're worried about September 2nd.
I'm worried about today, right? I'm worried about a good focus session here at 2:15, and then we're worried about McKendree on September 2nd, and then we'll flash forward to whoever the heck we play next and do our best to get after them. But I think to sum the whole thing up, I'm really excited about this team. I think it's a really, really good group of guys. I think it's a group that likes each other. They enjoy playing with each other. They're going to play hard, and they're going to do everything they can to represent Tiffin in the right way. And so it's going to be a fun year. Come watch us.
And the new jerseys looking pretty slick too.
Yeah,
right?
We got the new greens, and so we're it's crazy. You had this like kind of felt like a 2-year gap with COVID, and it's like the whole world stopped, and now it's like the first time it feels like a regular college football season, and
it's been a while.
And everybody's kind of caught their breath a little bit. I think it's like, all right, hey, it's what it used to be, and so I'm just excited to, get there on Saturday, September 2nd, and watch our guys fly around and hopefully we get one more point than the other team, and we can celebrate that, and then we'll just keep rolling, man. But this is a good group.
Yeah, and like you said, a tough matchup in week one. A good team coming from a good conference. GLVC, GMAC, got a lot of familiarity between each other, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun to see how it plays out. Don't forget, you can get all the information you need on Tiffin University football at GoTiffinDragons.com. We'll be here weekly, checking in with Coach Reisert, doing a preview of the previous week, and getting you ready for the following week, and hopefully talking about a Dragon victory each and every week. Coach, anything else before we let you get back to it? I know the kids are ready to get to work.
Ready to get to work. Thanks, man. Excited for a fun year, and always value the work that you do, and I know it's going to continue to elevate every single week like it always does, and as far as I'm concerned, you're the best in the business, so we appreciate all your support and all your hard work. Thank you.
I appreciate everything you do for Tiffin University in Tiffin, Ohio. He's Coach Reisert. I'm Russ Snyder, and this has been the Coach Reisert Show.